Hello, everyone. What I'm about to say may not seem very logical to you. You may not think it's right, but knowing the internet as a great form of freedom of expression in your opinion, I might as well tell the world what I believe. Some people believe that an omnipotent and supreme being, such as Yahweh of Christianity or Allah of Islam, created our universe and judged where we went in our afterlife. Some credit this claim to many different deities, each being a deity of a certain part of life and nature, such as with ancient Greek mythology. Other people believe other things, but what is growing more and more popular is the belief that no deity created the universe and it was purely science, starting with the Big Bang. I personally believe both of these claims. But hold on a second. Doesn't that contradict itself? Well, in the sense that I'm talking about, no, it doesn't at all. In fact, for what we know so far, it actually makes sense. I believe in science. I believe that the universe was created with the Big Bang, and with it brought forth the universe as we know it. But the big question is, what started the Big Bang? Scientists say that it was a bunch of gas that expanded and thus created protons, neutrons, electrons, and everything they make, such as electromagnetic rays, which include infrared rays, ultraviolet rays, the light we see, the sound we hear, that kind of thing. And the thing that atoms are made of, which include leptons and quarks. I believe that, but what gathered up the gases? Did they gather themselves? If so, how? If there is nothing controlling them, how did they expand on their own, since there's nothing in the gas to begin with, other than heat, of course? And since it'd be extremely hot from the pressure, wouldn't it have expanded from the very beginning? Then why is it, according to scientists, that there are many, like millions, if not more, universes and dimensions that were created long before our universe was created? So, according to my logic, something must have controlled the gases to not let them expand right away. And also according to my logic, that means that there has to be something behind the curtains controlling what goes on in space. Here's what I believe. I believe that most religions have it wrong. Think about this. The vast majority of religions we hear about are very old. Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, Shinto, Sikhism, etc., etc., etc. All of these religions are at least 1,000 years old. And back then, we knew very little about the world compared to how much we know now. Now that we know what we know, the religions of at least 1,000 years ago doesn't seem to make much sense, right? Because think about this. We used to think that the earth, that everything revolved around the earth and that the earth was flat, right? When we hear this today, we think it's ridiculous, We know the earth is round and, everything revolves around different things. Like we have many different galaxies, and in our solar system, everything revolves around the sun. We know that as a scientific fact. So, what was known 1,000 years ago might not make sense now. And that's the same with religion. Back then, life was much simpler, You didn't have cars to drive with, Most, people were usually farming or, they were selling things, but not like today, It was just much more simple. So, back then, we only needed much simpler beliefs, as one thing created everything as the way it is, such as with creationism. But now, we have more facts, more scientific facts, and it is becoming very complex. So our beliefs should coexist with the actual scientific facts. What I believe in has no name yet, but right now there doesn't need to be one, unless it becomes more and more popular, of course, with people. Here's what I believe. I believe there are at least 3 deities: the deity of physics, the deity of creation, and the deity of evolution. The deity of physics creates and maintains the laws of physics, whether it be gravity or anti-gravity, because it's all part of the laws of physics. The deity of creation creates matter that does not already exist. I do believe that materialism is a part of physics, a part that we have not formally discovered, such as with telekinesis, telepathy, pyrokinesis, aerokinesis, etc., etc., etc. I also believe that this deity gathered and controlled the gases that started the Big Bang and all other forms of creations with all other universes, and in the case of the Big Bang, also controlled when the gases would be released. The deity of evolution controls the path of evolution. So since we now know that evolution is a proven fact, why not incorporate it into a religion? This deity controls how evolution takes place. For example, people have evolved much faster than other primates, and rats and sewers have evolved extremely fast. They have evolved in 150 years to adapt to the sewers that they now live in. If you tell that to any scientist that did not know this, I almost guarantee all of them would not believe you until they found it out from other, reliable sources. Now, why is it so different for some creatures, and why is it that it's so different in the same conditions? Why is it that some will survive and some will die out, even though that those that die out should have survived according to natural selection? That's where the deity of evolution comes in. This deity controls which species evolves and which one becomes extinct, whether it be people or apes. Now, none of these claims can be verified, but just the same, not many other theistic beliefs can be either. And even more, you can disclaim some of the beliefs in some theistic religions. For example, you can't prove that Yahweh of Christianity and Judaism doesn't exist, but we can disprove the creationism with those religions. It would be very hard to disprove some of the beliefs in my religion right now, or as I should put it, organized beliefs, since unlike a religion, there is no worshipping. There is only acknowledgement of the deities. For example, we don't have proof yet that the dark matter, or what other people call it, the emptiness of space, that's known as dark matter, is actually the three deities. We don't have proof that that's not true. We also can't claim yet that there aren't at least three deities in space helping out with evolution, materialism, and the laws of physics. Also, such as with the name of the religion, the deities don't have any names yet either. Now, these are my beliefs. I'm not telling you, hey, believe what I believe or else. I'm just telling you what I think and believe. If it makes sense to you and you believe it too, great. If you don't believe it and believe what you want, whether it be something or nothing, great. Believe what makes you comfortable and what makes you happy. Now, I was raised and officially a Catholic, and then I diverted to Wicca, then to atheism, then I realized I was actually agnostic, and then I thought of this. It's only human nature to believe that something is among us that we can't sense, something to believe in, a higher power, and all I'm doing is following my nature. Thank you for taking the time to watch this.